A gentle, almost melancholic tone to start some warnings or whispers from the past, echoes of forgotten tragedies. For Laura, her mother's words were just that, a constant, anxious hum in the background of her life. Don't go near the whispering woods after dusk. My love, some things that sleep in the day, they wake when the sun is gone. Alara, a budding botanist with a heart full of scientific curiosity and a touch of youthful defiance, would always just smile and nod. To her, the woods were a living library, a treasure trove of rare flora, not a place of dark fairy tales. Her latest obsession was the moonpetal orchid, a flower fabled to bloom only under the light of a full moon, its petals glowing with an ethereal luminescence. Legends said it held the key to curing any ailment. For Laura, it was the discovery of a lifetime. The astronomical charts and her own research all pointed to tonight. A perfect, brilliant full moon was set to rise, and her gut told her the orchid was waiting. Her mother, seeing the familiar glint of determination in her daughter's eyes, repeated her warning, her voice tighter than usual. Ilara, please, I have a terrible feeling about this. The woods, I take things. Ilara packed her gear-reinforced satchel, a headlamp, specimen jars, and her grandfather's old compass. She hugged her mother tightly, whispering, I'll be back before you know it. Mom, I'll bring you the most beautiful flower you've ever seen. Don't worry. But as she stepped out, the evening air felt unusually cold, and the setting sun painted the sky in unsettling shades of bruised purple and blood orange. The familiar path into the whispering woods seemed different tonight, the shadows longer, the trees leaning in as if sharing secrets just beyond her hearing. The deeper she went, the quieter the forest became. The usual chorus of crickets and frogs was gone, replaced by an unnerving silence broken only by the crunch of her own footsteps. Her headlamp cut a lonely beam through the encroaching darkness. The air grew thick and heavy, smelling of damp earth and something else. Something faintly sweet, like wilting flowers. It was the scent of decay, but also of an alluring perfume. It was the scent of the moonpetal orchid. She followed the fragrance, her botanist's instincts overpowering the growing knot of fear in her stomach. The path disappeared, and she was pushing through dense, thorny undergrowth that seemed to grab at her clothes. The compass in her hand began to spin erratically. Disoriented, she stopped, her heart pounding against her ribs. That's when she heard it. A soft, melodic humming. It was beautiful, hypnotic, and seemed to come from all directions at once. It tugged at her, promising comfort and wonder, pulling her deeper into the woods. Her mother's warning screamed in her mind. Asterisk, the woods take things. Asterisk, she tried to turn back, to find the path, but the humming grew louder, weaving itself into her thoughts, making her feel dizzy and strangely peaceful. She stumbled forward, her feet moving against her will, drawn toward the source of the sound. Through a clearing, she saw it. A massive, ancient willow tree, its branches weeping down to the ground, forming a curtain of leaves, and at its base, bathed in the silver light of the full moon, was a cluster of moonpetal orchids. They were more beautiful than any textbook could describe. Their petals pulsed with a soft, white light, and the humming seemed to emanate directly from them. Ilara took a step closer, her hand outstretched, all fear momentarily forgotten in the face of such impossible beauty. As her fingers brushed against a glowing petal, the humming stopped. The world went silent. And then, a new sound began. A low, guttural chittering, like 1,000 insects, coming from the shadows beneath the willow. The glowing orchids weren't the source of the humming, they were the lure. From the darkness, a figure began to unfurl. It was tall and spindly, made of woven branches and gnarled roots, its form mimicking a human shape in a grotesque, twisted way. It had no face, only a smooth, bark-like surface where one should be. Long, thorny fingers uncurled from its sides. This was the guardian of the orchids. Or perhaps, the orchids were a part of it. Panic, cold and sharp, finally broke through the hypnotic haze. Ilara scrambled backward, tripping over a root and falling hard. The creature took a slow, deliberate step toward her, its movements jerky but silent. Its chittering grew louder, a sound that vibrated deep in her bones. She crawled away, her satchel forgotten, her only thought to escape. She could hear the thing behind her, the scraping of wood on earth, getting closer. She ran. Blindly, recklessly, she crashed through the forest, branches whipping at her face, thorns tearing at her skin. The chittering was always just behind her, a relentless, terrifying pursuit. She didn't know where she was going. The compass was useless, the moon obscured by the thick canopy. All she could see was the narrow beam of her headlamp bouncing frantically ahead. She risked a glance over her shoulder and saw it, a dark, lanky shape keeping pace with her effortlessly, its featureless head tilted as if in curiosity. Tears streamed down her face, mixing with sweat and blood. Mom was right, she sobbed, her lungs burning. She was right. The thought of her mother, waiting anxiously at home, gave her a final surge of adrenaline. She burst out of the tree line and onto a familiar ridge overlooking her village. The lights of the small houses were a beacon of safety. She didn't stop running. She flew down the hill, not daring to look back, convinced the creature of the woods was still on her heels. She burst through her front door, slamming and locking it behind her, her body collapsing against it as she slid to the floor, gasping for air. Her mother rushed to her side, her face a mask of terror and relief. She held Alara, rocking her gently, stroking her hair. "You're safe," she whispered, over and over. "You're safe now." Alara stayed in her mother's arms, trembling, the horrific chittering still echoing in her ears. After a long while, her breathing evened out, and she looked up at her mother, ready to tell her everything, to apologize for not listening. But she stopped. Something was wrong. Her mother was smiling, but it was a wide and natural smile that didn't reach her eyes. And from behind her mother's back, where her hands were clasped, came a soft, rhythmic sound. A low, guttural chittering. The creature hadn't pursued her. It was already here. It had been waiting for her all along. The woman holding her wasn't her mother. It was just another lure, a perfect copy taken by the woods long ago. The real warning wasn't about what was in the woods, but what came out of them. But her mom had warned her. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more animated horror. We'd love to have you in our community. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.